Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he won't quite make it to the 25. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
Here's Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Sinnott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Here, look at this Baltimore defense.
And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Now Daniels. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. He'll get this complete to Sinnott, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Ball on the 8, second and 2. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. To the air goes Daniels. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
It's only the first quarter. That's a quick shift of momentum right there because they were driving the football before that interception. And then not only, Charles, do they throw the pick, but it gets returned all the other way for the score.
I think the important thing here was it backed up in their own territory. This defense didn't blink. They hung in there, waited for the offense to make a mistake, and as soon as they did, they capitalized in the biggest way possible.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
But we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize. Put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. But you look at this defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks, giving the yard up to the 42.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. To throw is Daniels. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Ben Sinnott, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by York is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Zay Flowers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Ravens 14, Commanders 7.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To the right side and caught by Sinnott. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Daniels looking to throw.
Eluding the pressure right.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, we've seen quarterbacks get away with throwing the ball on the run, no doubt. But this, Charles, I think you'd agree, not the best of throws.
And listen, you're not always going to have a clean pocket to step up with the proper mechanics and deliver the football. I mean, that's a given. But you also have to understand your limits and know what you can get away with and what you can't when you're trying to make a throw like that.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 1.
He'll look to throw. Left sideline, a dime, and it looks like he's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Hey, did you have one of those backyards that you had one of those, like, mats or pits like you have for high jumpers? And, you know, you had your friends throw the ball and you tried to make the spectacular catches?
I didn't need a mat.
you just did it with the ground?
Absolutely.
That explains your
concrete.
Toughness. That explains your toughness right there. Because I think that guy was raised just like you. What a catch.
They go play action here on first down.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. The Ravens at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
They'll try again.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there.
His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite,
but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. That's caught by Sennett. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
There's a short one pulled in by Sennett.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Daniels. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Motion man right is Rice. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain, as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. to throw. McNally. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Looking to throw. McNally. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And Walker has it. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2nd and 6. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven 1st down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space, because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back to throw again. That'll be incomplete, as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. He finds his man. Complete. That's Walker. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Now a 2nd and 2. Now here's a throw out wide. Oh, this might be a double pass. The throw's going to be caught. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They can now afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Back to throw. McNally.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the return will stop right around the 25. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry.
Down to about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down, right around the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Operating from the gun,
McNally working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 51 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. McNally. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Operating from the gun, McNally. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Washington going to send out their punter,
as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
They'll look to throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's Walker. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here we go.
Now they'll run on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
They'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Throwing to start the drive. McNally. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Operating from the gun, McNally. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
He'll drop to throw. That is, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that, going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a dump off here to Robinson.
Our defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun, McNally. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He may go. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
They try again with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They run it again with Cook. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots and going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Ravens, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Commanders, the calendar change to October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.